Welcome to day 4. And the block we are going to discuss today that can choke our feminine embodiment or our feminine energy is the block of the good and responsible sister. In keeping with the conditionings and programs we've picked up from our culture, the second block we are going to discuss is the good sister. One of the ways our feminine energy can be blocked or our feminine river energy choked is through the expectation of what it means to be a good or responsible sister. This can refer to anyone you share this bond with, such as whether they're related by blood or not. We've been told by our caregivers and others who were in charge and responsible for us, maybe even clergy members, Girl Scout leaders, teachers, etc., what this is supposed to look like. We strive to be a good role model for, look out for, protect our siblings at all costs. Ultimately, we then try to manage our sister's emotions because, after all, if this sibling isn't as responsible as us, then their behavior must reflect on us. The problem that arises with this is the consequence of putting aside your needs to manage the needs of others ensures that your needs aren't met. We believe that we don't deserve the same care as we give everyone else. We can then end up burying our emotions, putting aside our hurt due to such high expectations. We end up putting aside our dreams, our aspirations, which then means that our jobs, our relationships, our lives don't look the way we want them to. Then we try to fix surface level things. We need to be better at our jobs. We need to be more organized. We need to be more loving to our family members. We need to show up more and more for the other, when what we really need to do is to show up for ourselves. But when we are showing up for others, we literally drain our own resources, our time, our energy, our money, and our life forces. This can manifest as issues with our physical, mental, and emotional health. I want to share a personal story with you. I am the big sister in my family. I have a brother who is 2 years younger than me and a sister who is 6 years younger than me. For those who might be related to me, you do know I have an older sister. However, I did not grow up with her for the first 8 years of my life, and I only lived with her for 4 years when she came to live with us. So for all intents and purposes, I was raised as the oldest in my family. My role in my family was to be the responsible one. I was constantly referred to as a mother hen, even sometimes today by my dad still, but at the same time told I needed to look out and protect my siblings, and that was exactly what I did. I was the epitome of perfection. Got straight A's. I graduated from high school in the top 6% of my class of over 600 students. I had a 4.3 GPA and went on to an Ivy League institution. I was well-mannered and put together. I attended church and was a leader there. I never got beatings or spankings, and my parents didn't need to yell at me to behave. Just knowing the rules was enough. I also bent over backwards to support my younger sister. I was the first one available to her when she called with issues about our mother, our father, her roommate, a guy she was dating, whatever it was. In our 20s, I allowed her to come and live with me after college while she intended to pursue a graduate degree. I thought we were going to live together in sisterly bliss. I was paying 75% of our rent, cooking all of our meals, and basically taking care of things. You can imagine my surprise when conflict ensued within 2 weeks of our living arrangement. We were arguing over everything, so much so I can't even tell you what our arguments were about. Unbeknownst to me, she was complaining to my mother about our situation, and they hatched a plan for her to move out of our apartment. On top of that, she became pregnant with our nephew, my nephew, within 2 months of moving in. Later on down the line, my mother would blame me for not watching out for my sister and allowing her to get pregnant. My sister would move home 3 months after moving in, and leave her room with her furniture and clothes that she did not get rid of that I eventually had to with my mother. She would say she didn't have money to keep paying for her portion of the rent, which my mother later paid. This entire situation left me with grief, resentment, anger, disappointment, among many other negative emotions. To be honest, I've since tried to make amends with my sister a few times out of the ideal that as sisters, we should be close. We should be best friends. And to this day, my parents still tell me how they wish that she and I were close, and that it's their wish for us to be close before they die. I'm unsure if they are telling my sister this. However, because I am the oldest, I definitely get told this frequently, adding more pressure to me if I choose to take it on to still be this responsible sister, to be the bigger one, to be the good one. In full transparency, the situation with my sister is still very much a work in progress. As a result of what's transpired between us, I've had to distance myself from her in the relationship in a lot of ways. My mother has since apologized, and we've worked through our stuff. And honestly, we have a very, very good, loving, honest, and transparent relationship. Again, I reiterate that I don't share my experience to scare you, but I am hoping that my vulnerability will lead to a light bulb going off for you in your own experiences. Journal prompt. In what ways have you prioritized the emotions of your sister, blood related or not? And how has that impacted what you have wanted to accomplish in your own life? Are there any physical, mental, emotional issues that have come up as a result of your over prioritizing the emotions and life of your sister? Looking forward to hearing your insights.